postseason play now here, coming off back-to-back Frozen Fours and such, is there a different kind of step to your team? Do you notice kind of, I don't know if their eyes perk up or anything? It seems like this is probably the moment they've been waiting a long time for.
Yeah, I think there's a heightened level of attention to detail, making sure they're prepared, making sure they know all the situations, and the way we battle at practice, it's intense, so I love to see that, because that's what games are like, and we can't be surprised on the weekends. So yes, there's been a shift.
How confident do you feel about your team and if it gets to a 3-game series? I feel like everywhere you look up and down the WCHA right now, St. Thomas played Minnesota really tough
Right.
this past weekend, and Cato's been strong. We could see more 3-game series in the WCHA this year, which is a while, but it seems like your team has the experience maybe battling through those series that other teams in the league might not.
Perhaps, yeah, I'd like to not get to that situation, but I mean, I'm confident in our group and what we know about, our series with them 2 weeks ago, how we're playing, all the things that Gabby just said. So our focus is on game 1 and that first shift and going from there. But I'm very confident in our group, and we're looking to make a deep run in the playoffs this year.
St. Cloud State, what has Brian been able to do to get the most out of these players? It's quite a turnaround that they've had from last year to this year.
Yeah, I think goaltending, JoJo's changed the face over there, and now they have a 1-2 punch in net that they didn't necessarily have before. So that has helped as the season's gone on. I think she's been playing better. I think, as Gabby mentioned, their defensive structure, they're comfortable in there. They play a lot of D zone, and they block a lot of shots and they muck it up. So a couple system changes, I think, and good goaltending, and you can flip a record pretty quickly.
There are adjustments you need to make to break through that defensive style of play.
Yes, and I think we've had success with it at certain points over the course of the season, whether it was in the fall or moments a couple weeks ago. But I think we have some other areas that we can expose that we've been looking at, and we're excited to give it a shot.
Do you think that's maybe mentioned JoJo, and she's playing great, but she doesn't play every game?
Yep.
Sonny, I think, if I remember right, saw a lot of minutes last year.
Yep.
Shots
Yeah.
last year. Do you think that's helping their goaltending
Yep.
situation is rotating, like what Brian's doing is probably a good strategy?
Yeah, I think, when you have a team that's going to face 40 plus shots a game, to ask the same goalie to do that every single night is challenging. So I think having JoJo over there has changed the face of how they can do things, and it's worked out well for them.
Offensively, what was working for them so well against Gator last week?
There's just so much in the video there. There's a lot of opportunities that come out of different situations, and they have some shooters. I've always said that they could snipe. They get their opportunity. They're good shooters. So I think I don't know exactly what happened in that series to open things up the way that they did, but they took advantage of their opportunities pretty well. And I think they had the advantage in net in that series going in. Yeah.
When you play them, they surprise me with how quick they go.
Quick. Yeah.
I looked at your team as being very quick.
Yeah.
And they were right with you how quick you some of the game.
Yep.
Is that something they've just developed and gotten better at? How do you get better at being quick?
Well, that's a long process of strength and conditioning and things like that. I think what we had talked about a few weeks ago was the quickness to the loose pucks in the D zone. Like goalie makes a save, there's a rebound, they seem to have a stick on it. So like I said, they have played a lot in their D zone, more than we do over the course of the year. And I think you look at the teams that do, like Mankato and Bemidji and St. Cloud and St. Thomas, they're really comfortable in there. So I think they know how to get to pucks and how to clear them. They spend a lot of time doing those things, and they get good at it. And then you get your transition game going, and, things develop from there.
One thing I was curious about, when they seem to really become an answer, they still fell into a very cautious forecheck, which is like, you can get there, why not get there?
Go for it. Yeah.
You don't mind that.
No, no, I do not. We want to spend as little time in the D zone as we can.
Right.
So, yeah.
They're in forecheck one.
Yeah.
You'll say, let's play all day.
Right. A lot of the series was in the neutral zone and their D zone when we played them last. So, yeah, it's a good observation.
I'll have to this weekend. What's available.
Yes.
One of the keys to success, how do you kind of keep this thing rolling and advance to the final?
Yeah, I think we're just, peaking right now. The series last weekend, we got our offense cracking again. Power play was phenomenal. PK has been phenomenal. So I think a lot of things are working well. So we want to keep building. If it's going to be a tight game, we want to be able to lock it down on D like we've been doing. When we have opportunities to score goals, we want to give it a good look, make sure we're taking grade A shots and crashing the net and making it incredibly difficult for our opponents.
Well, I actually about, living in the moment, when we hit those milestones, we continue to really, how do you sort of live in the moment and sort of appreciate, think back on your journey and just like just starting and even your young hockey career and starting at you, how do you appreciate that?
Yeah, it's a lot of reflection. I think, when you hit something, you look backwards, like I was saying about the seniors, right? We talk about senior night, you start looking backwards. So there are a lot of players, a lot of coaches, a lot of moments in the 8 years that helped get those 150 wins. And they were really difficult to get in those early years. And a lot of people, behind the scenes, helping our program be successful. People like you guys getting our name out there, putting us on the news, putting us in the paper and supporting us. I think all of those things need to happen in order to continue to push those milestones.
Gabby, start off Hockey Humanitarian Award, second year in a row among the top 5. What's that mean to you?
I can't really put into words what it means to me. But it means a lot to the board of Sophie Squad and our group that we have for the organization. Being able to put Sophie Squad's name out there on a different platform is huge. So it's not just about me and how I feel about it. The board and our organization is super excited to keep spreading that awareness and have our name out there.
How much of a boost did you guys see last year from all the hockey humanitarian coverage and the attention put on Sophie Squad?
Yeah, definitely some more followers, more interest online. Like I said, last year we have a space where you can just go online and join our squad. There's a little space on the homepage to do that at the bottom. So we had some more people sign up there to receive emails about events and different stuff like that. And our social media got a little bit more attention and some followers. So it's obviously huge to get that national attention through the Humanitarian Award.
You mentioned that you've had teams from out east kind of contact that reach out to Sophie Squad and such like that about doing events and such. That's the Hockey Humanitarian Award, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Bringing this beyond just Minnesota.
Yeah, I think also having me being a part of it from UMD, a college hockey team, I think also brings that to the forefront of out east people coming to reach out, and other programs being able to see a Division I program put on an event like we did. There's other schools that also look at that too and want to continue to do something like that. So Humanitarian Award, as well as just having the word out there and being able to do events here, also spreads that.
Thoughts, feelings going into your last postseason run here?
I'm so excited. I think our team is starting to get our offense going at the right time. I think our lines are doing really well right now. And last weekend, it was huge for us to get that confidence going. And I think we're just pumped and really excited. I think for my class personally, we're hungry. Came in as freshmen, not having a sniff at a national championship, to continuing to build that every single year. And we have that drive. I think we're all super excited and know what we're capable of, and we're ready to show it.
When you're coming off back-to-back Frozen Fours and appearance to the national championship, do you kind of feel like that itch to get to the postseason comes a little sooner and sooner each year? Is it tough ever at all to kind of wait through the regular season? I feel like sometimes February can be a tough month when you see the postseason.
Right.
Then you know so much about what it's about.
Right. I mean, it can be. We try to just focus on one day at a time. I think that's our main theme throughout the year, is just focus on who we have this weekend and have that. But there is that sense in the back of your mind of itching for the postseason, ready to start trophy chasing and get that going. But I think we've done well this year, staying in the moment and being ready for the opponent we have ahead of us. So
St. Cloud, what do you guys need to do better this time? That was a pretty tight series last time. JoJo had a phenomenal game against you on that Friday. what's the key to keeping this offense rolling against a team that doesn't like to give up goals?
Yeah, I think there's some tactical things that we can do, but also we got our offense going a little bit last weekend. I think that's huge. We had the puck a lot when we played St. Cloud the last time, so weren't able to bury a whole lot of goals that series, but hoping to continue the offense that we had against Bemidji into this series, and I think that'll make the difference.
Other things St. Cloud does, is it more than just goaltending right now that they have going for them that keeps pucks out of the net?
I think they have good D zone. They're a feisty team. They're hungry. They obviously have that style of physicalness to them. So they're not afraid to play the body. We just got to be able to be ready for that, expect that, and expect WCHA refs to not call a whole lot and be able to handle that, like those situations. So all around, I think it's going to be a gritty and tough series, and we got to be ready for that.
Abby, the last couple of years, these postseason runs, so many tight games that you found ways to win. How comfortable are you guys in those situations? I mean, it could be one and done now, and you play like, you still play kind of loose and free, but you also don't play loose and free, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we've been through so many different situations throughout our career here, especially the older group. So we know what to expect. We know the feelings when you get in those situations. You do have that adrenaline rush. You do have that little bit of panic, but I think we know how to handle that and kind of suppress those feelings and try and chase that trophy and be able to come out with a win. So I think we're just very prepared and ready for anything that comes our way.
How comfortable are you guys? The way you play and how good you play defense, and how much you can handle the puck. And with that goaltender, you got the back end is your last line of defense.
Yeah, it's unbelievable knowing that we have the goaltending that we do and continuing to work on our D zone every single day. I think having that practice to be able to perfect our systems is huge, and we do that every single week. So being able to go into the weekend with those things in mind and the confidence in our D zone and having the puck on our stick is super important. And I think we're at that point.
When you get in a situation like this and you're playing a team, you just played them 2 weeks ago. You played everybody in this league played 4 times. You just played St. Cloud 2 weekends ago. I know you guys talk about being focused on yourself all the time, but can you focus even more on yourself and playing the way you have to play because you're so familiar with this adversary?
Yeah, I would say it's nice being able to play them right now, since we did have them a couple weekends ago. It's not like we're going to face a whole different squad. We just played them a little bit ago. So being able to do film and fix up the things that we need to and continue to work on ourselves in our game to be able to get a couple wins this weekend is super important. And I think having that time only a couple weeks apart from them is important for us to know.
Do this, you guys talk about taking a moment, which is way easier said than done. So over the years, how have you learned to do that, especially with this last month of life, and how have you really been able to stay at this moment?
I think it takes a lot of time to get to a point where you can really stay in the moment. It takes practice, and I think we still struggle with it sometimes. I mean, I do personally, always looking forward to playoffs or looking forward to playing the Gophers or whatever it may be. But with the culture and team that we have, you always have people holding you accountable, like stay in the moment. If people are talking about futuristic things, stay in the moment. So to be able to have that accountability on our team is super important. So I think that helps a lot.
When you say everybody remembers losses, but close behind that was close wins that you get, and you remember those finally, you think about the smile. But in those close games, you sort of tell your younger teammates like, hey, this you're going back to this period.
Yeah, definitely. Having them, they've watched our like freshmen, they watched last year, they watched the year before, so they know what we've been through, and we've carried them along this season. And I think they're comfortable with those situations as well, and being able to kind of give that comfort we have down to them and pass along to them through those situations will help them be more comfortable as well. So I think taking every opportunity you have and just running with it. If it's overtime, run with it. We're just going to attack it and see where it goes. And I think that's the mentality that gets us those wins.
A simple question, but to you, what makes playoff hockey so special?
Oh, wow. I don't even know. It's just so fun having that extra pressure on you that it could be done at any point, any moment. I think having that just makes it that much more fun, that much more passionate, and the competition on both sides of the ice, no matter who you're facing, is going to be high level. So I think that aspect of it is super fun. Everyone's bringing their best on the ice, and you got to know to bring your own too. So I think that that's what makes it so fun and special.
Reflecting on your career, how differently do you approach maybe this season's class than you did perhaps your first one?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we came in and not really feeling that sense of it's right in our hands to be able to be national champions. But we've built that kind of over the years, and the group that we have is so tight knit, and like I said, we hold each other accountable. So being able to reflect on your freshman year and the journey that we've had and use all the tools and all the things you've learned to our advantage, I think is going to be super important.
So as much as most of those games were the same cloud. And, you know, you guys know what you have to do, and you know you have to turn it up and score a couple. But also, if you look at it from the other standpoint, that they've got nothing to lose, and they come in mentally thinking they can play with you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably gonna be significantly more prepared for you guys than they were.
Right. Like I said, everyone's going to bring their best at this point in the season, and we got to bring our best too and keep stepping it up a notch every single day and every single game. So they're going to bring their best, but we are too. And I think we always talk about the first 5 minutes being tough and gritty. And I think that sets the pace for the rest of the game. So making sure we do that and show them they don't have a sniff is super important.
Have you kept in touch with Brian Kochadowski over the years? Here?
Yeah, a little bit. After the series we had, it was our senior night. He stayed after to watch me and Ashton's videos and our little tribute that we had after the game, which was cool and special. Yeah, just a little bit, not too much.
Is it fun to see him back at the WCHA after what he had to go, what you all went through?
Right. Yeah, it is. It's fun to have a familiar face, somebody that I went through that process with, and it happened to him. So being able to see him back in the league and changing that program around is really fun.
Do you happen to know Britt Olsen, basketball?
I've heard of her, but I wouldn't say we're friends,
I
acquaintances.
don't watch basketball games, watched it play. I
Yes.
just wondered, because last weekend, I passed up a couple of hockey games to go watch them play their last game.
Yeah.
The playoff game. And Midgie, you're playing with Midgie, they're playing with Midgie, really tight game. And she went and just took the game over and scored 40.
Atta girl.
And I asked her, and that was the most she'd ever scored in her career. And I thought, amazing how that team led to the top by one great player,
Hmm.
which is very similar to the parallel of your play with this team. So, you know, the parallels are very interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah.
You know,
Good for her.
You know, skilled players who can do wonderful things, and I just thought you needed to see her play. Now they're gone. They're gonna be playing on the Super Bowl.
I'll have to watch online if they have a streaming system and catch that.